Today we're going to discuss what happens to your workplace pension when you die. Many people aren't aware of the potential inheritance tax implications, but there's a simple step you can take to ensure the maximum amount is passed on to your loved ones. A workplace pension is set up by your employer to help you save for retirement. A percentage of your pay is automatically put into the pension scheme every payday. In most cases, your employer also contributes, and you receive tax relief from the government. Modern workplace pensions began after the 2008 Pensions Act, with mandatory auto-enrolment for eligible employees in the UK becoming effective in 2018. To be eligible, you must be a worker, aged between 22 and the state pension age, earning at least £10,000 per year, and ordinarily working in the UK. If you die before retiring, the default position is that the value of the pension fund will be payable to your estate. However, if adding a relatively large pension pot to your estate causes inheritance tax or IHT to become payable, there is a problem. As workplace pensions grow, planning for what happens to them on death becomes increasingly important. IHT is a tax due on death, typically 40% on the part of your estate that exceeds the threshold, which is currently £325,000, although exemptions and reliefs may apply. Currently, pension pots are not subject to inheritance tax when you die. It's crucial to note that the inheritance tax rules on pensions are changing. From April 2027, IHT will be charged on any pension wealth you pass on to your loved ones. These changes will mainly affect defined contribution pensions because it's possible to have unspent money left in your pension pot when you die. The new rules will mean your pension wealth will be added to your other assets to work out the total value of your estate. Given the upcoming changes to inheritance tax rules, estate planning becomes even more critical. Here are some steps to consider. You can do nothing, and the pension fund will be payable to your estate and added to its value. A grant of probate is needed to ratify the will, which can take several months, delaying the release of funds. Note that from April 2027, this approach may result in inheritance tax being applied to the pension wealth. You can nominate a beneficiary with your pension provider. To do so, complete an online or paper form to instruct that person to inherit the pension fund. The money can be paid to the beneficiary without waiting for probate. However, it would normally still be included as part of the estate for inheritance tax purposes. From April 2027, this approach may also result in inheritance tax being applied to the pension wealth. You can sign a letter of wishes for your pension provider, requesting that the pension fund be paid to a specific person. The pension provider will hold the fund under a discretionary trust for your beneficiary. The money can be paid to the beneficiary without waiting for probate. In this last scenario, the pension fund will not normally be added to the estate for inheritance tax purposes. However, the pension provider could, in theory, pay the pension fund to other beneficiaries if there are potential beneficiaries who were financially dependent on the person who died. There are allowances available that could reduce your tax bill. The basic inheritance tax nil rate band of £325,000 reduces the value of your taxable estate. Additionally, there's a £175,000 nil rate band applicable to your main residence. This is an additional allowance available if you leave your home to direct descendants such as your son, daughter, or grandchild, giving you an additional exemption. There's no tax to pay on the wealth you leave to your spouse. If you're married and leave your wealth to your spouse, you can also pass unused IHT allowances to them, potentially doubling the IHT allowances as a couple. In many cases, it's possible to effectively leave £1 million without paying any inheritance tax, so it's important to get tax advice and draw up a will with a legal expert who can ensure you make use of all available IHT allowances. As the value of your workplace pension fund increases, it's important to consider what will happen to it on your death and take steps to avoid potential inheritance tax. Given the planned inheritance tax changes for pensions announced in the autumn budget in 2024, it's a good idea to review your estate planning. You can speak to a specialist solicitor such as Tallents Solicitors for individual advice about your workplace pension and other assets. For financial advice, including advice on pensions, consult an independent financial advisor. You can also get free advice from PensionWise. The options described in this video are specific to workplace pensions. Other types of pensions operate under different rules. This information is for guidance only and correct as of the 23rd September 2022. We recommend you always seek legal advice regarding your personal circumstances before acting. Taking these simple steps and staying informed about the changing tax landscape can ensure your loved ones receive the maximum benefit from your workplace pension. Please contact Tallents Solicitors to arrange an appointment.